Hey guys, it's Atticus, and this is my third video I've tried to do. Hopefully this one will work. I just casted two other ones, and it sucks that it didn't upload, so hopefully this one does. I am with you on a full ultra settings game. I think I might have finally got it to work for you guys, and I'm really excited to start showing you, just how beautiful this game is on these high settings, on ultra settings. So I have a really cool Dark Elf versus Dwarf game here. And I'll just go ahead and jump into the build. So I took Lokir Felheart up on his Black Dragon, guys, and I really like him in this matchup because he has regeneration, which is just pretty much the main thing. If you're going to have a unit up on a Black Dragon against the Dwarfs, generally you're going to be dealt with a lot of cannons and ranged, so having that regeneration won't punish you for taking that gamble. And he's the only Lord who could really do that. Now, Malekith has Soul Stealer, granted, but you don't have to waste Winds of Magic for that, which just makes it a really good value for it. Man, is that model beautiful. For my frontline guys, you can see I've taken 2 units of Harkonnen Executioners, and these guys are going to be my main killing force. I also have a couple units of Bleak Swords just to absorb any ranged blasting charges and things like that. And over here on the left flank, I took a unit of Sisters of Slaughter, and these beautiful gals are going to be trying to get into a missile line. That's why they exist. And if it comes down to them needing to get into a melee combat, or against like Dwarf Warriors or something like that, they can also hang as well. I also have a unit of Dark Riders over on this side, and a Harpy and another Dark Rider over on this Deep Vanguard. As my opponent here, let's go ahead and just pause it because the action's getting ready to start. He brought a very, standard Dwarven front line, mixed of missiles, multi-layered, the Onion Defense. He brought a bunch of just Longbeards, guys, with Bronze Chevrons, which is really powerful. They have Charge Defense, and these bad boys are going to be able to stay in combat for a long time. But he doesn't have a lot of armor piercing from it, though, so he's going to be relying on these guys, Quarrelers with great weapons, who are his armor piercing, and that's a really interesting army composition. I don't think I've really seen that thought process behind it. He also has Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. So Grombrindle, if his magic damage is going to be doing just cleaving through my my Executioners, excuse me. He also has, for his really heavy hitters, some Hammerers over here in the back in reserve, and a unit of Longbeards over here trying to protect his 2 units of Gritch Throwers, supported by a Master Engineer who will also give him buffs to his artillery. So let's go ahead and start the matchup here. Right off the bat, you can see that I was hoping he wasn't paying attention, so I'm going to send my Dark Riders here to try to get into his artillery piece. He is going to respond though, but instead of sacrificing them right here, I'm going to use their mobility and go around the side here and try to get into this unit. And you can see it's going to succeed. The Dwarves might be known for being sturdy, but they're definitely not known for being fast. And man, isn't these graphics just beautiful? Oh, I love it. The lighting's just so cool. So we finally got into this unit, which is a really good early pick for me. And you can see over here, these 2 units are coming to hopefully shut it down. You can see all 4 of his Quarrelers now are throwing all that armor-piercing ranged into these Dark Riders, but that's fine with me, guys. You know what I mean? Look how much damage we did to that Grudge Thrower for a 500, unit. You can see this long map right here. We have a long way to traverse. Oh, I forgot to mention I also had a Cold One Chariot, which, is really good for the armor piercing and the charge. So, we have this really long map here to traverse. So I'm going to go ahead and send my dragons up in front, and we're going to try to get a little breath weapons, see if we can, force a mistake out of my opponent. And I decided to be a little bit patient with my Harpy and my Dark Riders right here. There was no sense sending them in to shut that down when my army was still so far away. Now I got to be careful because these guys are armor piercing, so they'll go right through my dragons if I'm not careful. Lokir has regeneration, but my other one does not. And you can see I'm just going on each side of him. And one good thing, one little gamble my opponent did was not taking any Slayers, so he's really relying on these Hammerers. You can see that the artillery pieces are going to start opening up, but they're shooting at a Black Dragon, which is not the greatest hit for them. Now you can see I'm going to start doing my Dark Riders and my Harpies to shut down these Grudge Throwers just because my army is getting into position. And you can see that I saw that he was all grouped up right here, so I decided to take the damage, and I'm going to get a breath attack right into these guys. And look at this damage, guys. Oh, that's so glorious. Nothing will get me more happier in the morning than seeing globs of Dwarfs just get butchered by dragons. And you can see, he's taking a little bit of damage. Over here you can see that my Dark Riders and my Harpies have got into his Grudge Throwers. You can see these Harpies are going to shut down this one right here too. And that's another way that you beat the Dwarfs is exploit their how slow they are. They don't have maneuverability, so he can't just ping pong between these both units. By the time he does get over here, we've pretty much just did our damage. You can see over here, my Black Dragon does land. I decided to try to help taking out those grudge throwers, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull him back as he starts to get shot at. And you can see. It's allowing these guys probably should be focused in on my Harganeth Executioners, but he's deciding to do it on the dragons. And what I'm doing, guys, is I'm distracting him. He needs these guys to be his armor piercing, but he's busy dealing with these dragons, and these harpies, which you can see we've shut down both of the grudge throwers. So yeah, that's a really good pick for us. My plan to that point has worked, and you can see that he's not protected right here. I'm gonna get a really good charge in with my Cold Wind Knights. Gonna run over these Longbeards who were not braced, and yeah, the dragon trap is gonna land, guys. With these beautiful ultra settings, these dwarfs are just going to get destroyed. And yeah, it's looking really good for me. You can see the balance of power is still pretty even, though. The Longbeards now are fighting the Harganeth Executioners. And yeah, I'll do this trade any day. And I forgot to mention one of these units were the Blades of the Blood Queen. And the reason I took that is if my dragon landed. Sorry, guys, I was a little inaccurate with my original unit description. You can see I'm going to have these one unit of big swords kind of go around. And yeah, what I'm trying to do, guys, is just look for an opening. Try to get into this back line, try to deal with the masked engineer, and you see we're just breaking through all these these corridors of great weapons. Against a dragon, they're not going to stay alive at all. And you can see there is a Thane over here. I forgot to mention him as well. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the graphics, guys. I didn't mention all his units. And yeah, you can see these hammerers, or excuse me, these Longbeards, and these hammerers are trying to come to reinforce. But yeah, this map being so big is just really helping me. In the infantry fight, you see Grombrindle is fighting against... where's he at? There he is, this little white mohawk looking thing. Against my Bleak Swords, and he did use Flash Bomb, which lowered some of their stats. You can see my Cold Wind Knights have kind of gotten tied down with these Longbeards, and they are going to rampage, which is a little unfortunate, because I want to keep these guys from, routing and stuff. You can see that one of them did happen to get over here, though, so he's dealing with these hammerers, but yeah, these hammerers will actually beat him, which is a little unfortunate. And you can see that my Lokir's taking a lot of damage against the Thane, surprisingly, but... like I said, Lokir will regenerate, whereas the Thane will not. I am going to decide to try to get a rear penalty on these Longbeards. I want to free up my Blades of the Blood Queen, try to get them into the main engagement. So yeah, I'm going to get a breath weapon on this glob right here in a second. You guys will see. And then I am going to decide to land on Grombrindle. I decided it's time to get rid of the Snorri Whitebeard, I think is who he originally was. Over on this side, you can see that my Sisters of Slaughter are fighting against Longbeards. And yeah, this is what I was telling you guys. Yeah, they're not armor piercing on their tooltip, but they're beating a Longbeard shielded unit one-on-one combat. That just shows you how powerful the Sisters of Slaughter are, and that's how they're just a really good tool. Over here in this matchup, over here you can see he has a lot of units that are returning from combat, which is really unfortunate, because I don't have a lot of forces in the back here to pressure him. So he's going to start getting some of that armor-piercing damage onto my force. But luckily, we've killed so many of his unit models, so it's not as much damage as it normally would have been. Over here, the Harganeth Executioners are going to get into the Hammerers. But yeah, one-on-one, Harganeth Executioners will beat Hammers, I do believe. Yeah, they do, actually. I did test that. I just had to remember how it went. But yeah, out of three, I took 3 different units, and yeah, all 3 times, the Harganeth Executioners beat them. You can see I'm going to get a really good breath weapon into these hammerers, and these guys are silver chevron, so that's something to keep in mind too. They're going to have a lot better stats than just an original unit. Over here, my opponent, he keeps making a mistake of grouping up his range, and it's allowing me to exploit that by sending in my dragon. And each time that happens, yeah, we're just taking out his whole armor piercing force from the battle. Over here you can see the Sisters of Slaughter against Longbeards, and these guys are even chevron guys, and you can see, yeah, the Sisters are just destroying them. Over here you can see the Blades of the Blood Queen are at almost full health, and I'm going to get a direct dragon hit right into Snorri Whitebeard over there, right into the Grombrindle. He does have the Thane and a unit at maybe a quarter health still alive. I am going to send Lokir into the Hammerers here. I wanted to break those guys and try to free up my Harganeth Executioners so I could get them dealing with all these shaft units. And over here you can see that my Cold Wind Chariot is just, he's just ping-ponging around. Whenever I see an opening, I'm bouncing from, one coroller to the next. The unfortunate thing about them being so slow is they don't route, they don't run off the map since it takes them so long to get there. So yeah, my dragons now are just causing havoc on the Dwarven line. Whenever I see a unit that's just by itself or exposed, yeah, the black dragons come and then pretty much immediately, destroy it. And that's kind of the danger of not taking slayers, guys, because there's not really one unit that is a deterrent for me landing my dragons. Over here, you can see that these badass Hargonef executioners are going to start chasing the correlers here, and he does have a master engineer who the whole game has been doing that ranged AP. So it's chipping away and doing a little bit of damage. You can see I'm going to get another breath attack right onto these correlers, and I'm just trying to just clean these guys up. I want to get them out of the battle so that I can focus on Grombrindle. So now it's time to goon the Master Engineer, so I'm going to land both dragons on him. And you can see Lokir does have an ability that I'm going to cast soon that gives him more melee attack and defense, I do believe. I forget what it's called, but yeah, I am going to cast that. And now we've escorted all his correlers off the map, which is really good for me. It means I can get these blood Hargonef executioners here in the main engagement, so I was hoping to see that ability. Maybe I don't cast it. Over here in the main engagement, yeah, you can see that Grombrindle is about dead. And yeah, the balance of power is in our favor, guys. And it's going to be another win for the Druki. So we'll go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success. And really, the keys for the success in this matchup, guys, is air supremacy. The Black Dragons getting their breath weapons, the backline harass through the. You saw the harpies and the dark shards, timing that out right. Sisters of Slaughter. So you saw what they were able to do against a Longbeard 1-on-1, even with Chevron. So that should just give you guys a little perspective on how powerful they are. The Cold One Chariot was really good at cleaning up routing units, and yeah, the Hargonef executioners are just rock stars. The Dwarves really struggle against that if you don't bring great weapon units. Now he did have this one unit of hammers that did really good, 120 kills, but yeah, he needed the grudge throwers to do a lot of damage since it was a big map to make up for that damage difference, and he needed these correlers with their armor piercing range to support them. But you saw, guys, he was grouped up. I was able to get the breath weapons on it. I was able to charge, and and whenever he grouped up like that, I exploited it. So all right, guys, that was hopefully this replay actually will load, and it sucks that I don't have the other ones to show you guys yet, but I hope you enjoyed seeing things in ultra settings. That's the new gold standard of my channel, and yeah, appreciate all your support. I'll see you guys in the next replay. Thank you.